Hello, and welcome once again to the David Messiah YouTube channel, where our watchwords are to teach and to build back up the kingdom of Zion. And my name is Sidney Thomas. I'm the founder and the moderator of this channel, and I come to you as a servant of the Most High God, Yahweh, and also as that David Messiah that would be raised up in the latter day. And the title of this talk is Year 6010, New Year 6010. And I want just simply here to show you the 6010 New Year calendar for this new Hebrew year that is now fast approaching. And according to the Hebrew calendar that I have been given, the new year starts on Gregorian Saturday, March 23rd, which implies that the spring equinox, what we are to use, the date for the spring equinox that we are to use is this Friday, March 22nd. I do not guarantee that if you go to one of the usual websites, timeanddate.com or whatever else, that is the date that they would be propounding, but that is the date that I have been given. So that Saturday, March 23rd, as we see here on this calendar, will mark the New Year's Day for the Enochian year 6010, which would put us into the 10th year of the 7th millennium. And as long as we are doing that, I also want to draw to your attention with a couple of things. One, I want to say a little bit about the energy that will govern the New Year 6010. The energy that governed the old year 6009 was the energy, the number 9 energy, which was the energy of revealing all that which was hid. And so indeed this year coming to a close has been a year of revelation of all kinds of hidden truths that now have come to the forefront and which are now undeniable. That's number one. I want to talk about what the corresponding energy is for the New Year 6010. But first I want to draw your attention to the date on this calendar here, which is the 17th day of the first month, or Gregorian April 8th, 2024. And those who are following events and developments will well know that a solar eclipse is going to take place on that day, April 8th, 2024. And what we can see from this calendar is that that day is in the middle of the week of the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Okay, it is a Monday. And furthermore, I simply want now to draw your attention to the fact, if you count weeks from that day, Monday, April 8th, so look at Monday, April 15, that's 1 week. Monday, April 22nd, that's a second week. Monday, April 29, that's the third week. Monday, May 6th, that's the 4th week. Monday, May 13th, that's the 5th week. Monday, May 20th, that's the 6th week. And Monday, May 27th, that's the 7th week. And that very day is the day of Shavuot, or the day of Pentecost. So exactly 7 weeks separates the April 8th solar eclipse day from the day of Pentecost, which is then to follow on May 27th, exactly 7 weeks. All right, so I want you to bear that in mind. 7 weeks from the day of that solar eclipse to the day of the next Feast of Pentecost. And the first Pentecost, of course, was significant, and that is when the Holy Ghost came down upon the congregation of believers, so to say, and they spoke in tongues, and you had what was described as these tongues of fire. Well, one of the points of significance associated with the April 8th solar eclipse is that exactly 7 days later, we're going to have, at least from the day following that, is what I've been guided, the Holy Ghost will again make an appearance, but this time it will be bringing fire and destruction. So bear that in mind. I will talk at some greater length about that in a follow-up video to this one, trying to break down the meaning of the sign, so to say, of the solar eclipses of April 8th forthcoming, and of 2 solar eclipses that preceded it, one in the year 2017 and the other one in the year 2023, last year, which in fact, let me go to that one. Last year, 2023, in the month of October, October 14th, there we are, year 6009 or 2023 Gregorian. On Saturday, October 14th, there was that solar eclipse. Okay, and now I want to draw your attention to the fact that from October 14th, at the end of the Feast of Sukkot, 7 months later, is what brings us to the coming feast of Passover, which is here, and in roughly the middle of the Passover week, April 8th again, is when that next solar eclipse is to take place. So you're going from one feast to another feast. You're going from the feast of Sukkot, with that solar eclipse of 2023, to the feast of unleavened bread, for the one that is forthcoming. 7 months. And you can count the months, I'm sure. It wouldn't be too difficult. So counting backwards, this is month 1, Here, the 12th month of the year 6009 is the second month. The 11th month of the year 6009 is the third. 10th month is the fourth. 9th month is the fifth. 8th month is the sixth. And that takes us back to the 7th month, which was the October 14th, and the Gregorian that year was right at the end of the Feast of Sukkot. So we're going from one feast to another feast, so to say, and this was a 7-month sort of count. So 7-month count from the eclipse of October 1423 to the next coming eclipse of April 8th, 2024. And as long as we're doing that, because there are 3 solar eclipses, and I will talk about that at some length in a later upload, if we go back to 2017, there was a solar eclipse on August 21st that year. Right, so this shows Gregorian year 2045, which we have to go to because I don't have the year 2017 on this perpetual calendar, but the calendar repeats every 28 years. So the year 2017 corresponds exactly to what I'm showing you here, which is the year 2045. Okay? And in that year 2017, on the August 21st, you see here at the very end of the 5th month of that year, which was a 6003 year, or year 2017, okay, August 21st. And what we notice with this one is that it is a month exactly. Yes, it's a month. Because at the end of the next month, this Thursday, September 21st, that was a fall equinox. So from August 21 to September 21 is 1 month exactly. And then the day following was that feast day called the Feast of Trumpets, the first day of the 7th month. And in the Feast of Trumpets, that sort of is a month, a day that heralds something to come. And that something to come was what was prophesied in specific now. It doesn't happen every year, but in Revelation chapter 12, if we go to what is stated there, so September 23rd, 2017, that night into the next day, we had the conjunction in the stars prophesied at Revelation chapter 12, the moon clothed with the sun, 12 stars around her head, and the moon strove to be delivered of that man-child. So that August 21st is looking ahead 1 month to this day, which is the day of trumpets, the day precisely on which was fulfilled the prophecy of Revelation chapter 12 of the coming of the man-child, also known as the David Messiah. All right, so that is part of the significance of the solar eclipse of August 21st, 2017. That it was pointing to this day, the day of trumpets, and the coming that day, or that night actually, or the very following day, of the man-child, because it was on that day, September 23rd, that the conjunction prophesied at Revelation 12 was indeed fulfilled. And that was discussed at some great length at the time that was happening. And I think I have an upload as to that. All right, so that's all I wanted to say as to the coming New Year 6010, and referencing it to the coming eclipse and to two previous eclipses that came before, because I deal with that at some greater length in a subsequent video. So this one sets the stage for that. But in this video, I just want now to go to the numerological significance of the 6,000 of year 6010. So it's a 10th year of the new millennium, the 7th millennium. And just as the year 6009, now coming to an end, carried with it the vibration of the number 9, which had to do with revelation of all that which was hidden, year 6010 carries the numerological vibration of the number 10. And I take you here to my book, Numerology and the 7 Days of Creation. And all my books are available for free download in PDF format. And they all may one way or another be obtained also from Amazon.com. Some are in print form, some are in soft cover, some in hard cover, some in just what you call electronic type of form. But here is what I was guided in that book to say about the number 10. And let me read in that section there. This is going to be the keynote now. The keynote of this year, 6010, the coming year, 6010. Go to section 13.1. Some of the special significance of the number 10 may be gleaned from the 10th commandment, which says at Exodus 20:17, and I read, "Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's." So this is the energy vibration that will cover the year 6010. This is the energy of covetousness, and associated with the energy of covetousness, the energy of jealousy, because you covet what your neighbor has, because you're jealous of your neighbor. And the associated energy of envy. You covet what your neighbor has been given because of envy. So this is reminding us, if we go to the flip side, of the Most High wants us to be content with our own gifts, which always, if you count now what you have been given, you'll have so much to be thankful for. So be thankful for what you've been given, as opposed to coveting that which your neighbor has been given, so to say. All right, now I do go into a somewhat abstruse discussion here, but which I will leave for you to read and to decipher at your own leisure, so to say. But I want to now draw your attention to a very simple matter. First of all, the number 10 energy also reduces to the number 1 energy under the rules of numerology that we've been given. And the number 1 energy is the energy of leadership, the energy of light, is the energy of the central theme that governs all things. But the energy of the number 10 carries with it also what's called an additional sort of overtone, the overtone which is number 3, because the number 10 is the 3rd day of the 2nd week, so it's the 3rd note of the 2nd octave in a musical analogy. So number 10, and that was what was discussed earlier in the text about ownership and all of that, because the flip side of coveting is the idea of ownership, right? But let me give a few examples which are given here in the text. Take the name Jacob. Jacob reduces to a numerological 10. And here's what I had to say as to that. As the one to whom is promised the inheritance, Jacob has had to deal with the envy and covetousness of his near kin, most specifically Esau, or Edom, and Ishmael, and that's there in Psalms 83. Item number 2. The vibration of envy and covetousness is also present in the story of Joseph, who was envied by his brothers, the other sons of Jacob, who sold him into slavery in Egypt. The name Joseph also reduces numerologically to the number 10. It reduces first to the number 19, which carries the overtone of 5, the number 5, because it's the 5th note in the, I think, the 2nd octave. And that 19 itself reduces to the number 10, which, as we have seen, carries the overtone of the number 3. Right? So this is what is here now being said. Thus Joseph, like Jacob, carries the number 10 vibration, though in his case not having not only the higher octave vibration of the number 3, but also the number 5, deriving from the number 19, to which the name Joseph first reduces. Right? The number 5 vibration present, that of obedience, is consistent with the story of Joseph, which includes his enslavement in Egypt, as well as his obedience to God. So in one sense, the modern-day sons of Jacob are still paying for that sin of envy involving their brother Joseph in the form of the modern enslavement of the Negro and his continuing captivity. That was written whenever it was written, I think 2017. And the third item Shem, the name Shem also reduces to 19, so it carries the overtone of the number 5 vibration, further reduces to the number 10, carrying the overtone of the number 3 vibration, and it also carries the vibration of the number 1. So it is also a good example of the number 10 vibration. It is out of Shem that comes the priestly line of Jacob. He too bore the envy of Ham, in particular through the machinations of Nimrod. This story is told in the book of Joshua. The higher octave vibration of number 5 is also present and speaks to Shem's status as a prophet in obedience to, well, in those days I used to say Yahweh. It should now be corrected to Yahweh. And in parentheses, the book of Joshua lets us know that Shem was the great teacher of many generations after the flood, and under the name and title of Melchizedek was given obeisance by Abraham. So Shem also carries that vibration of number 10, and critical and numerological terms for that vibration is these sins of envy and jealousy and covetousness. And Satan also carries that number 10 vibration. And let me read from item number 4 there. Satan there reduces to number 10 numerologically. Without doubt, as the adversary, Satan uses covetousness and envy and jealousy to enormous effect, especially in combination with greed and other deadly sins. So he makes us to be where we are not content with the gifts that the Most High has given to us. So we want more. We want money, we want fame, we want sex, we want whatever. And so say, you make a pact with Satan to try to get these things. So what is operating there is this energy of covetousness, of jealousy, of envy. So that is the guiding vibration that will govern the year 6010. It is the year when Jacob is restored to what he should be restored to. Judah in particular is restored. He's brought back out of his state of captivity, so to speak, and he is given that which was promised to him, because Judah is promised the dominion. And Judah is to obtain that dominion when that dominion is finally, it is already taken away from Edom or Esau. In the spiritual, well, here now in the physical, we will find that Esau, Edom, will without doubt lose the dominion also in the physical, and the powers that he has been used to having, he will find he no longer has. And we already see some intimation to that effect, because the head of the house of Rothschild, Lord Jacob Rothschild, fourth Baron of that house, just recently died, giving you that, okay, this is a sign that their dominion essentially has now come to an end. And Judah, in its place, will be raised up. And in particular, that man-child, the David Messiah, will be raised up as promised, and as is there in the book of Revelation, which let me go there, just so that we're clear. Revelation chapter 2, we go down to verse 26. We see where Yeshua says, this is a red letter Bible, and he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. Yeah? This is what has been coveted by Edom. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my Father. So here we see very clearly this is Yeshua speaking. He's referring to his Father, which is the Most High. And he's also talking about someone that he, Yeshua, will raise up to rule with a rod of iron. And he will be given that dominion, that power, so that when he says, boo, that is now people to jump. And that has been the power that was earlier wielded by Edom or Esau. Okay, and it's now gone with the house of Rothschild being brought down from their position of being the ruler, so to say. All right? So this is a reference, and now let me go to, oh boy, let me go to Revelation 12. So be clear as to that. I've just made reference to it. But let's read it. Revelation 12, starting at verse 1. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. And she being with child, travailing in birth, and pained to be delivered. So this was a reference to an astrological conjunction which was fulfilled on that day, the first day of the 7th month, year 6003, or year 2017. The date was September 23rd, when that condition was fulfilled. And that was when the man-child was delivered in some sense. This is verse 2. And she being with child, which is the man-child, cried, travailing in birth and pained to be delivered. And here was jealousy and envy now of Satan. I read verses 3 and 4. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his heads. And his tail drew the 3rd part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born. So this was Edom, Esau, through the H-O-R, that great whore, house of Rothschild, that was there usurping that which was promised to the man-child, and that he was allowed to do so. And so they exercised the dominion according to what was prophesied already in Genesis chapter, 27? And now carrying on verse 5, and here's an explicit reference to the man-child. And she brought forth a man-child. So he's a man. Okay, a mortal man. But he's a child in this spiritual sense, because he's going to be changed from being, in a sense, a mortal man to being that David Messiah. And it continues, who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron, and her child was caught up unto God and to his throne. So he was put in a place where he would be protected from basically the satanic forces that were seeking to swallow him up. And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she hath a place prepared of God, that they should feed her there 1,260 days. And we continue into verse 7, and there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought unto his angels, and prevailed not. Neither was their place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil, and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels cast out with him. And verse 10, and I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our God and the power of his Christ, Messiah in other words. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our God day and night. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto the death. So this here is a reference to the man-child, which is the David Messiah, which is quite distinct from Yeshua, whose job it is to raise up this David Messiah. So Yeshua, also known nowadays as Jesus, was never the Christ, a word which means Messiah. He rather has always been the Savior, and furthermore the co-creator God of this earth. Okay? Or this world, I should say. So that is what is now coming to a head here in year 6010 of the 7th millennium, 10th year of the new millennium, where these issues of envy and jealousy, will be brought to the fore, because there will be a shift of power, a shift of the dominion from Edom, Esau, who has wielded it these past several hundreds of years, and now the time has come for that dominion to go rather now to Jacob, in particular Judah, and in further particular the David Messiah. So let me also close off this thought by going to the book of Daniel chapter 7. Because there was, you see, Edom, Esau thought he had a claim. He had sold his birthright for a bowl of pottage. But being the elder twin, he thought he should have gotten this dominion, when in fact it was given to the younger twin, Jacob. You see, and so comes the envy and the jealousy associated with it. So what is the judgment? Verse 26. But the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away his dominion. That is Esau's dominion, to consume and to destroy it unto the end. And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him. So the whole point about religion, and in particular Catholic religion, has been to sort of suggest that that should not be the case. So they are in rebellion against the Most High. And that there should be no special power, privilege given in this regard. And so this is the idea of Catholicism, that there is no chosen people. This is the idea of Islam, that there is not a chosen people. This is the idea of every other, every man-made religion, which go against this promise and this holding of the Most High, that he's going to give the dominion to his chosen. And he is raising up that man-child, the David Messiah, who shall be the, if you like, the focal point of this grant of the dominion. So as Lord Jacob Rothschild was the focal point of the Edomite dominion over the earth, David Messiah would become that focal point of the dominion given to Judah and given in particular to the remnant house of David. So this is what this year 6010 is about. It's about envy and jealousy and covetousness, and handing over, as promised, handing over the dominion to whom the Most High said he would hand it over in accordance with the prophecy. Right, so that's all I want to say as to that. I give all praise, I give all thanks, I give all glory unto the Most High God, Yahweh. And to all those listening, I say Shalom, and I take the opportunity also to wish you all a very happy New Year 6010, free of envy, free of jealousy, free of those chains with which Satan would seek to keep us sort of enslaved, really, because that's what it is. He uses these feelings of envy and jealousy and of desires over and above what the Most High has given and promised to sort of bind us to his dominion. But that is not what is being taken away. All right, so with that, Happy New Year 6010.